Hello and welcome to the latest update of the sugarcane rainfall outlook for the southern Gold Coast and New South Wales sugarcane district. First, we'll look into how the Access S model verified for rainfall over the month of May before touching on June rainfall to date. We'll then cover short-term weather watch points before seeing what the rainfall outlooks have in store over the coming months, before finishing with a quick tour of the Climate Services for Agriculture website. So how did the rainfall outlook perform over the month of May? The image on the left shows the observed rainfall. In the middle, that rainfall converted to the percentage of average rainfall to match the outlook colour scale, and on the right, the Access S rainfall outlook for May. So it's a probabilistic forecast. To verify it thoroughly, we need multiple data points, which is how the green past accuracy maps are generated, and not just the 1 month like we're doing here, but we'll do it as a quick eyeball test to see how it performed in this instance. At first glance, we can see broadly it has captured the trend for dry conditions in the south, around Yamba and Grafton, and closer to neutral conditions around Ballina and Casino. However, further north through Murwillumbah and the Gold Coast region, above average rainfall was recorded, where the outlook had low odds of 35 to 40% of exceeding the median rainfall. Most of that rainfall was due to a fairly localised rainfall event triggered by an upper trough which moved through on the 15th and 16th of May, delivering around 50 to 100 millimetres of rainfall. Rainfall for the month of June so far is tracking below average, with most locations having recorded less than 40% of the average rainfall for June to date. Highest totals have been around the Murwillumbah and Newquay region with around 25 to 35 millimetres. Over the next week, a series of cold fronts will cross southern Australia, but little in the way of rainfall is expected to make it as far north as the Northern Rivers and far southeast Queensland regions, as we can see from this 7-day rainfall graphic, covering rainfall accumulations from 10 p.m. on Thursday the 22nd through to 10 p.m. next Thursday the 29th of June. Here we have the chance of exceeding 5 millimetres of rainfall over the next fortnight, broken down into week-long periods. You can access these maps on the link above, and they are updated daily with the latest model data. I've selected 5 millimetres to display, given we're in the drier time of year, and on the website there are a number of rainfall thresholds available between 1 millimetre and 700 millimetres to choose from. On the left, week 1 covers from the 25th of June to the 1st of July, and we can see low odds of below 25% of receiving 5 millimetres of rainfall in most places, increasing to 25 to 50% on the coastal strip between Ballina and Byron. The odds increase in week 2 between the 2nd of July and the 8th of July, with a 25 to 50% chance across the region. Into the whole of July outlook, and a neutral to slightly higher odds, 45 to 65% of exceeding the June median rainfall is predicted, with the model skill at this time of year moderate to high, getting it correct typically 65 to 75% of the time. This translates into a higher chance of seeing rainfall close to the historical median for the month, as we can see from the higher values in the 50% chance of at least chart on the left, compared with the historical median map on the right. Breaking the rainfall odds down further for July here, with the high chance on the left, the 75% chance of receiving, and the lower chance totals on the right, the 25% chance of receiving values, to give us an idea for the potential rainfall spread for the month. So for example, roughly eyeballing the Murwillumbah region, around 10 to 100 millimetres could be expected. Into the whole of August outlook, and an average chance in the south to slightly below average chance north of Tweed Heads of exceeding the June median rainfall is predicted, with the model skill at this time of year moderate, getting it correct typically 55 to 65% of the time. This translates into average odds of seeing rainfall close to the historical median for the month south of Tweed, as we can see from the very similar values in the 50% chance of at least chart on the left compared with the historical median map on the right, and slightly lower than median values between Brisbane and the Gold Coast. Breaking the rainfall down further for August with the high chance on the left, the 75% chance of receiving, and the lower chance totals on the right, the 25% chance of receiving, to give us an idea for the potential rainfall spread for the month. And a quick look into what the modelling is suggesting for the longer term August to October rainfall outlook, and it's a fairly neutral signature of around 45 to 55% chance of exceeding the median rainfall across the growing regions, though the model skill at this time of year is moderate north of Brunswick Heads, getting it correct typically 55 to 65% of the time, but the skill declines to the south of that, so around 50 to 55%, barely better than climatology for those southern regions. Both Australian and international climate models are indicating strong odds of both a positive IOD event and an El Niño to be underway during late winter and into spring. Here I'm showing a map of the mean rainfall deciles for the last 7 times we've seen both a positive IOD and an El Nino co-occurring since 1960 when reliable records for the IOD commenced. And while it generally leads to drier than normal conditions for much of eastern and southern Australia, in previous combinations of these two climate driver phases, your coastal stretch has seen rainfall near the mean, and that's also what's been reflected in the rainfall outlook on the previous slide. Keep in mind that the skill is on the lower side though, especially south of Brunswick Heads. The Climate Services for Agriculture website is a collaboration between the Bureau and CSIRO. It's a platform being developed to help farmers adapt to climate variability and trends, and has been funded by the Australian Government's Future Drought Fund. You can find it at climateservicesforag.indraweb.io. The link is spelled out above, and this is the homepage where you type in your location, and once you've selected a location, press continue on the bottom right. There is a treasure trove of information to mine on this website, but today we're keeping to the seasonal rainfall outlook, so choosing this third column, the seasonal outlook on the right. This takes you to a great rainfall display. On the left you can choose monthly or seasonal outlooks, so we're looking at the July outlook for Stotts Creek here, or you can flick to seasonal and get the 3-month outlook from July to September as well. So it's using the same data available on the Bureau Climate Outlooks website, but presented in an alternate format here for your point location. So we've got the 75% chance of at least, the 50% and the 25% across the top there, with the skill level shown it below in a star rating. On the bottom left, a detailed rainfall breakdown with the chance of receiving at least for a number of rainfall thresholds, and on the right, a handy summary of the median rainfall, the rainfall received last July, and the rainfall over the past 3 months as well. It's in a prototype stage. They are hungry for feedback, so if you have suggestions for what you'd like to see, there's a feedback option at the top of the page. That's it for this update. As always, check the latest forecasts and warnings on the Bureau's website or the BOM Weather app, and please send any feedback through to agriculture@bom.gov.au. We'd love to hear from you about ways we might improve the service. See you next Outlook. Thanks for listening.